Hello and welcome back. I hope you guys have an amazing start to the month of November. Given the new moon today in Scorpio and everything that has been going on around, I really hope that you are well rested, you are well informed, well aware about how you are feeling and how everything is going on around you. Honestly, today I really felt inspired. The moment I woke up in the morning, everything felt so nice. It felt like there was an energetic shift. It just felt right. Everything just felt right, like everything was in place, even though I did not know what was happening, even though I could not see my near future. I literally calmed down. And that's the topic for today, honestly, where I talk about and tell you about how our brains are not our enemies, but something that we have been employing to safeguard ourselves from potential threat. And we have like literally swayed so much in that prediction of the potential threat that we stopped living in the moment. We stopped living in the now. Like whatever we do in the now, we don't really focus on what it is. And it is really important, given the new month, given the new energy, given the winter arc coming in, and all the new and good things that are happening around. I feel it's really important for us to realize how important it is to stay in the now. Given it is the last few months of the year and how everything is just going to shift, everything is just going to change, it is really important to check in on yourselves and make sure that you are fine, you are in alignment with whatever that you want and whatever that you are creating. So when I ask you, or like even when I ask myself that what is it that I want, what is it that I'm looking for, who am I right now, or what am I doing right now, I usually go like, I'm working. I'm doing the things that are required for me to reach this potential goal, this potential picture that I have in my head that, this is the thing that I want. This is the thing that I want to achieve. But the entire point of asking myself, like, how do I feel right now? What am I doing right now? Is not about what am I working towards, but what am I feeling right now? What am I doing right now? The thing that I'm doing right now, how is it helping me in the now? Not in the future, but in the now. And realizing this usually was very, you can say, energetically draining, but you do realize this, right? Just one day you're working and you realize that what am I doing right now? Because even when I'm doing this particular thing, my mind is running amok. My mind is running to the future. My mind is running as to what am I supposed to do next? What is there, what is next on my timetable for me to complete? Or like, what am I striving towards? What is my end goal? And I realized that while I was doing this, this multitasking of doing something and thinking about whatever I'm going to do next, I forgot how I was living my days. I did not, recollect my days. I did not recognize my days. I'm so sorry for this stuttering. I guess I'm too excited or too, so many downloads are happening of messages that I want to get out that the words are just like going, oh, but done. It's okay, you understand, and that's all that matters. However, so getting back, also this stuttering that happened right now with me, this usually happens with me when I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do next. I'm creating this video, I'm creating this to put out there for all the people who need it, for all the people who really need to listen to this, but my mind is still working. My mind is still going on to the next thing as to, okay, after doing this video, what am I going to do next? What is my next goal that I will be achieving? And this is something I have been doing ever since I can remember, like ever since my childhood. Because that is how my ego at least learned to cope up with things, you know. That's how my ego learned to keep itself safe, to keep myself safe, honestly. And I don't blame myself for doing any of it. I don't blame myself or criticize myself, or I don't even get hard on myself anymore. Like, what are you doing, Bipasha? Why can't you just do the things that you already know you should be doing? Like, what is up with you? You know this is something you don't want to be engaging in. Then why are you doing it? Like, having this rude tone with me, I'm over it. And I do believe that a lot of you who's listening to this can relate to it, because that's very unconscious with us, you know. Being hard on ourselves is very unconscious with us. And we curse our ego and our brains that, you know, you guys are our enemies and stuff. No, they are not our enemies. They are just trying to look out for us. The thing that they are best at, the thing that they are supposed to do. Basically, they are doing their job. And when we tell them that, you know, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing it like this? When we question, when we criticize, when we judge, we are judging our own selves. And why are we judging our own selves in the first place? And secondly, if you're judging yourself, why are you so rude with yourself? Why can't you just be like, okay, okay. Right now, my brain wants, you know, needs to worry about these things. Why does it need to worry? Like, I get it that worrying is a coping mechanism in order to, you know, not, what can I say, to just avoid all of the scary future outcomes, or all of the failures, or all of the shit, I lost it again feelings. Like, literally, your ego, your brain, your mind is working towards that. When you worry, you are focusing on potential outcomes which can or cannot happen, right? When we say potential, it is 50-50. It is not like 100% shortcut that it is going to happen. We worry because that's how we keep ourselves, you know, in the zone that, okay, if we keep on worrying, we will have it in our mind. So when it comes in front of us, we know what to do. But ask yourself this question: when a problem, actual problem, where you had to find a solution or come up with a solution, did you spend your time worrying about that particular situation, or did you spend time going crazy like, shit, this has already happened, what can happen next, what can happen next, what can happen next? Were you focusing on the consequences, or were you focusing on how to solve it, how to get out of it? You know the answer, you know what I'm driving at, right? So yeah, like, when you are actually faced with a threat, you yourself come up with a solution. You don't have to worry, you don't have to spend your entire day when you're like, you know, you should be resting, you should be spending time with yourself. Or like, even when you're working on something, you don't always have to have a latent worry in your head that what's gonna happen next. You don't know what's gonna happen next. You cannot even fathom what can happen in the next minute once you're done watching this video, or even while you're watching this video. So there's no point like trying to predict our futures. What we can do in the now is to live our days to the fullest, live our moment, like this moment, living this moment to a point where you feel fulfilled that yes, in this moment I was present. I was not worrying about the future. I was not sad about my past. But I was in the moment. I was doing the thing with all the attention that I had, with everything that I had. I felt it. Not just in my mind, not just in my surroundings, but also in my body, in my heart, in my brain. You feel it. When you give your 100% to something, you have a shift in energy. You have a shift in energy in yourself and around yourself. When you give your 100%, okay, so I'll give you an example here to better explain this. When you're writing something, when you're journaling, for example, you pick up a question, you put on music if you want to, and you start writing, right? While writing, your brain is in the moment. Your brain is giving you the answers that you're seeking. Your brain is literally making you write the things that you yourself might not even know about. Your subconscious is coming out, right? In that moment, you are not worrying, oh my god, if I'm writing so long, like if I'm writing so much for so long, am I compromising on the next thing that I'm going to do? Oh my god, oh my god. Like, what am I going to do after this? What am I going to focus on after this? What am I going to hyperfixate on after this? Like, you don't do that. When you journal, these thoughts don't come in. At least this was the example for the people who journal. The people who don't yet journal, the people who are still getting into the journey of journaling, of getting to know themselves, of increasing their self awareness. For you, when you play a game on your phone, you are not worried about, oh, you know what, scrap the gaming. When you scroll through Insta, through Reels, you are not worried about what is going to happen next because you are in that zone for hours and hours because it is so comfortable for you, because you have made your body feel comfortable and you tell yourself this, that you're enjoying, your brain is enjoying you, it is so relatable, that is why you're on it without thinking about anything else. I'm not judging you. Good for you if you're looking at reels and relating to it. You don't have to give me any explanations. But the point is, you fixating on reels is because you feel comfortable and is because you can be in the moment, just like not care about anything else but be in the moment. I've heard so many people say this out loud that, after work, the only thing that I want to do is just like do the relaxing activity, whatever their activity is, and just open Insta, scroll through reels, because that's like relaxation for you guys. Because that is what society has made relaxation to be. But do you realize when you reassure yourself that this activity that you're doing is relaxing to you, this activity that you're doing is somehow serving you, you do not worry about what you're going to do next. You do not worry about what the future holds. You do not worry about things that don't really matter. But when you end up doing things that scare you, when you end up doing things that are so unfamiliar and uncomfortable, you tune into worrying because you're like, oh my god, if I can't feel satisfied with something that is supposed to help me, how can I ever understand what I am here for, what makes me what makes me feel better? How am I ever going to reach that point if this particular thing does not make me feel relaxed? Honey, stop telling yourself that the thing that you're doing, which is supposed to serve you, is not making yourself feel good. Because you are not supposed to feel good about doing something new at the very first go. Relationships are different. But even then, even in relationships, when you text first or when you're in a healthy relationship for the first time, it is so new to you that even though you want to text, you don't text because you feel like, why aren't they doing it? Shouldn't they be the people doing it? I mean, yeah, they should be, but they might be busy somewhere or they might be doing something. So take the lead, do it. It's making you feel uncomfortable, definitely. You're spewing so many stories in your head as to why they are not texting you, why they don't care about you, why they don't even think about you. Just come to know of the fact. Like, you don't have to live your life in assumptions. How is it going to serve you if you keep on assuming how life is going and believe in it? I mean, you're in the moment, right? Why are you assuming things which are happening very much in the moment? There is no point assuming those things. You don't even have to assume those things, Annie. You can just take a step back and be like, you know what, instead of assuming that things are not going right or my way and making myself feel more uncomfortable, I would rather just reach out to a particular person who, regarding whom I'm feeling this uncomfortable emotion. And I can just be like, you know what, I felt like you were not texting me, so that made me feel a bit ignored. That made me feel unacknowledged. And yeah, like, you can just tell them that, your action made me feel this. And then how they respond to it is definitely their thing. But you should be clear on what you are feeling instead of what you assume you are feeling and assume why you are feeling those things. It's okay. You are entitled to your feelings, but you are not supposed to assume as to why you're feeling those things. Sometimes you just feel it. Sometimes feelings are just supposed to be there. Feelings are just supposed to be felt. You're not supposed to put reason behind it or reason behind every feeling. Because usually your feelings come from your emotions and your emotions come from your thoughts. So if you're so intrigued by your feeling and you feel like, oh my god, why am I even feeling this? Then just ask yourself, what thought is there in my head that is making me feel this? Right? And yeah, like, that is how you be in the moment. You ask yourself again and again. It's like a course correction. You can't be like, okay, now I know the thing, what to do. So every time this happens, done. I'm going to be there where I feel so much more better that I am in the moment and I am living. No, it does not happen like that. If you put so much expectation on your own self, you are going to judge yourself. Like, okay, see, confirmations. But yeah, like, stop weighing yourself down with so many expectations. When you feel like I want to be in the moment, just take a deep breath, take a step back and be like, am I in the moment? Am I in the present? Am I focusing on the things that are going on in front of me, or am I focusing on the things that how they might be going on, or what they might be telling me, or how I expect them to go, or how I am afraid that this thing going like this projects something from my past, like resembles something from my past, and that's the definite end that that's gonna happen, and therefore I'm going to act that way. Like, understand from where your behavior is coming, understand from where you are, like, I'm sorry for that, understand yourself, understand why you are responding to certain things the way you are responding. And if you're thinking that you're reacting to certain things, then honey, it's totally your journey. You choose to react to things, you choose to respond to things, you choose to do anything in your life, like, literally. So I would rather advise you that if you're choosing what to do, how to do it, choose a bit more softer play with you, you know. The same way you love others, the same way you're so compassionate towards others, bring that compassion towards your own self and be like, you know what? I deserve it. I deserve it so much. Because the more you start to respect yourself, the more you start to take care of yourself, and the more you see how beautifully you do things, no matter how stupid of a mistake you make, but it is a beautiful mistake because nobody else could have made it that way as you did. And it's like, I mean, I made a mistake, but sheesh, did I do it in my own way. Start acknowledging yourself, okay? Start acknowledging you for who you are. Start acknowledging your actions for yourself, because nobody else is going to do that for you. And honestly, there is no point waiting for others to do it. Just chill. Do what you want to do. Realize that being in the moment, being in the present is not only about meditating, is not only about journaling, is not only about being like Sadhguru and Osho. No. Being in the moment can be anything that you define it to be. Right? Put your definitions. You are important. Start viewing yourself like you are important, because nobody else is going to view you as important until and unless you yourself realize and acknowledge yourself to be important. You are beautiful, and that's it. You are in this journey because there is something you're meant to find out. You can delay that as long as you want by being the way you are right now, by just focusing on others, focusing on the outside validation, others' opinions, others' lives, how they are going. You can keep on comparing yourself to them. Or you can just be driven by your inner peace. You can be driven by the need for your own validation. You can be driven by your own compassion. People will only meet you as far as you have met your own self. That's it. That's the end line. That is the baseline, and that is the starting point of everything. You might feel that I am encouraging you to be alone somewhere. Yes, I am. Because until and unless you be with yourself, you be alone with yourself, you will never understand the difference between loneliness and solitude. But all of this actually leads you to be in the present. All of this leads you to realize that being in the present is just about enjoying yourself, it's just about knowing who you are, and not about knowing who or how others are or what they want. It's all about knowing what you want. Know that it is okay to choose your life, to choose the people you spend time with, to choose the energies you want to engage with. It is all fine. If in this moment you want to sleep, that's perfect too. Stop stressing about what's going to happen next because nobody knows what's going to happen next. You can just enjoy and be in this moment and create your future. You cannot create your next moment. You can choose what you do in the next moment. That's it. I really hope this video reaches to all of the people who needed to listen to this. I really hope that I can connect with you guys on a deeper level, because I have realized how amazing it is to be in that deep connection, to be in that deep connection with yourself, with the people around you. And I would not want anything else, be it for myself or be it for you. Be in the deepest of connections with yourself. It's beautiful. Love you.